Donald Trump loves to use imagery and any type of campaign ad that might compare him to Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, of course, is a former beloved president for the right wing. But it turns out that maybe the Ronald Reagan Foundation isn't too keen on Trump using Ronald Reagan's imagery anymore, maybe because of the fact that he's been a terrible president with horrible poll numbers and is single-handedly dismantling our Constitution and our democracy. So the Ronald Reagan Foundation has requested that the Trump camp stop using the former president's image and name for fundraising purposes. And so guess what Trump is doing now? He's crying about it. On Twitter, he said, so the Washington Post is running the Reagan Foundation and RINO Paul Ryan is on the board of Fox, which has been terrible. We will win anyway, even with the phony Fox News suppression polls, which have been seriously wrong for 5 years. And of course, he did that while quote tweeting Larry Sabato, who also was whining and crying about nonsense, in regard to the Reagan Foundation board not wanting the Trump campaign to use Ronald Reagan's imagery. Now, the Reagan Foundation had previously asked the RNC to not use Reagan's name or image. The Hill reports that the organization made its request last week after the Trump campaign had sent an email asking for a donation of $45 or more to enter to receive a limited edition set of 2 gold-colored coins that had images of Trump and Reagan. Ooh,
I know what I'm getting you for your birthday.
That would be a great gag gift, really. Yeah. One more point, the Reagan Foundation Chief Marketing Officer Melissa Giller said that the RNC had used Reagan's image without our consent, despite the foundation owning the rights to it. Oh, I love it so much. I love it so much. I mean, Trump is getting rejected everywhere by everyone. It's so good.
Yeah, I hate the heralding of Reagan as some sort of bastion of respectability and goodness when Ronald Reagan, I was just reminded the other day of his pro-apartheid stance and his support for the apartheid government in South Africa, among the many horrific things that he did, and the fact that he set up this insane trickle-down perspective and all of these institutions that push that forward that has decimated the public safety net for years and years and years. So I obviously don't like him being seen in this respectable light now, but it is just fun from a trolling perspective how much it gets under Trump's skin. And unfortunately, it seems like those gold coins won't be able to be purchased on the website anymore, given the legal battle.
Well, that just makes that gag gift even more desirable, Emma. So get to work.
I'll start bidding on eBay.
My birthday passed already. Yeah, look, it is kind of surprising though that even at this point you have Republican congressmen who still align themselves with Donald Trump, knowing full well that his poll numbers are abysmal, and also knowing that he goes against every principle that they claim to have prior to the Trump administration. And there have been stories here or there where maybe some vulnerable Republican senators are like, oh no, maybe I need to rethink the way I frame things. Maybe I need to distance myself from Trump. But they really haven't. They've still remained incredibly loyal to him, even as he's made a mockery of the Republican Party, has embarrassed the party, continues to lose support based on poll numbers. I wonder how much that water needs to boil before the Republican frogs realize that they're dying, that they're being boiled alive.
Well, it really is the last. The Republican Party is going to need to reinvent itself or return to its roots somehow. But the mask has been ripped off, to use that annoying phrase. They're only about the cult of personality and authoritarianism. Everything else, they can go do away with. The racism too. They need to keep that. But everything else, it doesn't matter anymore. If Trump raised taxes on the rich, they'd cheer it as the greatest thing ever. We saw it with North Korea. If Obama had tried to make peace with North Korea by cozying up to Kim Jong-un, what would the reaction have been? There's no principles there. It's all following the same it's all following one guy, and it's just feeling like you're behind a strong leader and a part of something. And that's very thin and flimsy and will have to go away at some point.
Right, exactly. Because how can you argue that you have a strong leader when 95% of what he does is cry on Twitter? Really? I mean, is that really what a strong leader does? If that's the case, then we have a plethora of strong leaders. Just go to Twitter, any user, right? That's all Twitter is. Man, a lot of strong leaders around the world. A lot of strong leaders in this country. It's pathetic.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.